to another episode of Dumb Guys Talk about fantasy baseball. In this episode, we're going to tell you how to win stolen bases in your league. And I think it's going to be kind of fun.
Win, or at least win enough to
compete.
Yeah. To where you don't like sacrifice the rest of your team for stolen bases.
Yeah, this is basically a strategy video, and I think we're going to do a few more of these. We're going to do one for each of the stat categories that you have to win in head-to-head categories.
Yeah, this is mainly focusing on that format, the head-to-head categories. this could help you out in the overall rotisserie league as well. That has the stolen base category.
Right. But before we get started on that, let's just get this done. You got to subscribe to the channel. Click the little button down there. Give us a little thumbs up. Leave us a little comment. Let us know what you're thinking.
Yes.
We like to hear from you. We're putting up 2 of these videos per week, Wednesdays and Sundays, in addition to...
Your favorite part, the plug for our Brazilian America videos. I've got one to edit. We got more to film. We're going to go on a trip up the Oregon coast, so we'll probably film some of that, do a little vlog, that sort of thing. So keep an eye on that, and that goes all year, and we're going to get into more baseball waiver wire videos as the season goes on, maybe even some softball videos.
Stick with us throughout the entire season.
Yes, definitely.
We got good stuff coming.
Yep. All right. So into the stolen base strategy.
Into the stolen bases.
So how do you typically approach stolen bases?
Well, so here's the thing. I think there's this myth out there that you have to go and grab one of those big stolen base guys to win stolen bases, like a Billy Hamilton, like a Dee Gordon. And I think that is false. I think really, if you want to win your stolen bases, you gotta balance it out, right?
Yeah, definitely. You know, a lot of people argue with us how we dropped Trea Turner down, and it's kind of that logic of like you got to get one of those 60 steals guys, and there's only really like 3 of them.
Yeah.
So that means, you know, if you're a 10 or 12 team league, only 3 of those teams are going to have one of those guys.
Right.
So you're going to have to do something to either keep up with their stolen bases or beat them in the other categories. And I think all of those guys, you sacrifice something in the other categories.
Yeah.
Some people might argue that Trea Turner is the most balanced. Dee Gordon still gives you batting average, but 0 home runs. Billy Hamilton gives you basically nothing besides stolen bases.
Billy Hamilton, I believed the myth last year. I thought, you know what, I'm going to give this a shot. I drafted Billy Hamilton.
Yeah.
He spent most of the season on my bench because he brought down everything else.
Yeah.
I didn't even get the benefit of his 60 stolen bases because he spent most of his time on my bench.
Yes.
And I didn't win stolen bases when he was in. I would have weeks that I had 11 stolen bases against a guy that had 2, and then another week where I had 5 and the other team had 6.
Yeah.
So it was ridiculously lopsided.
Yes, it was. And I've had a year where I had Dee Gordon and Billy Hamilton on my team. And Lorenzo Cain. And I won stolen bases all the time, but I really sacrificed the power numbers. So last year I took a more of an approach to where I'd be a sneaky stolen base guy. And I think it worked pretty well for me. I won stolen base at least half the time, if not more. Because you're already, like if you have some stolen bases, there's already at least half your league that's kind of punting stolen bases. So you can work on getting enough to beat those guys punting stolen bases, steal that category. And you know, some of the guys that did that for me, I took Mookie Betts early. I picked up Lorenzo Cain later. And I also had Will Myers on my team. And, you know, on top of that, I had Rizzo, who had 10. And I had Hosmer, I think I had like 6 or 8. Like people say, well, those guys don't steal bases. Like they steal enough to contribute here and there to where you have all these guys getting 1 stolen base here and there, and it adds up to the 3 or 4 that Billy Hamilton gets for somebody that week.
Yeah. I think you beat me in a week last year because Rizzo stole 2 bases in a game once.
Yeah.
You know, it's that type of thing where you get a little bit here and a little bit there, and it adds up.
Yeah, it does.
And you don't have to sacrifice on your OPS being 600.
Yeah. Because
that's what Billy Hamilton does, or not getting any home runs out of that slot. And there's a lot of guys out there. There's a lot of guys that will give you the home run or the stolen bases in addition to some other stats. And some of those guys that I've got on my list, Whit Merrifield was a good guy last year. I mentioned this guy a lot because I'm really high on him right now because he did have a good season last year, and he's off to a great start this spring. But he had 34 stolen bases last year, along with a lot of good complementary stats to go with it. Another guy that I marked down on here, and I don't know if he's going to repeat this, but Elvis Andrus, 25 stolen bases, 20 home runs.
Yeah.
So there's guys out there where you can get that balance. You don't have to reach for someone like Billy Hamilton or get the 60 stolen base guy. Or roll the dice on a guy like Turner, who, yes, the guy's got a lot of talent, but is he really going to be that, that number 5 pick in the first round? Is he going to make up for, all of that and bring you those stolen bases? You don't know.
Yeah, you don't. One guy I really like, if I have who's falling later in the first round is Goldschmidt. He approaches 20 stolen bases all day.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, he had 32.
Wow.
And that's out of first base. And you get that type of stolen base out of first base.
And a guy who hits 30 home runs.
Yeah, and a guy who hits 30 home runs. Will Myers is another guy. He could give you like 20 stolen bases out of first base. And so you're expecting stolen base out of second base, shortstop, center field. Here's guys that steal stolen bases at first base. And then you can take those power hitters at those other spots. And you're still getting what you need there. And so I thought that fit well into my strategy is like a Goldschmidt or Will Myers or even a Rizzo. Even though Rizzo only got 10, it helped. It really did.
Right. Another guy to keep your eye on is Delano DeShields with the Rangers. 29 stolen bases last year. Some people are projecting him to lead the league in stolen bases this year.
Yeah. He had 100 stolen base season in the minors.
That's a lot of stolen bases.
It is.
And that would probably win your league. But I think he's got a little bit – he's got more to offer than somebody like Hamilton. Even though Hamilton is almost guaranteed 50 to 60 stolen bases a year, if Delano DeShields can turn around and do it, you're picking him way later in the draft. Yeah. And he has a much higher OPS and other stats to go with it. This is a better option, I think.
Yeah, and what it is like that guy and a couple guys here, Cameron Maybin and Jose Peraza, I almost feel like those are Billy Hamiltons at the end of the draft.
Yeah, right.
The guys that could Cameron Maybin's had some 40 stolen base seasons. He's gone to the Marlins. I think he's going to play all year, and I think he'll approach 40 stolen bases again. Jose Peraza is a guy that's had 60 stolen base seasons in the minors. He had 24 last year. Zach Kozart's gone. He's going to play full-time at short. I think 40 to 50 could very well be within reach for this guy way late in the draft.
Yeah, deep in the draft. It's like, why waste what's Billy Hamilton going in the 6th round or something?
Yeah.
I mean, a 6th round pick, there's a lot of good guys in the 6th round. I don't want to waste it on one stat. And that's why I like taking those big boppers in the first round. Someone like Arenado who's going to get me 35 home runs, 100 RBIs, because I get the whole package. In the 6th round, there are guys that are similar to that too, maybe not as potent, but why waste it on a one stat guy?
Definitely, and if you are going to get a one stat guy, wait way late, and it's going to be like a utility that you can swap out when you don't need those still. Because like if you're playing in a head to head, and that week you're playing another guy that just totally punted stolen bases, you could potentially take out like a Cameron Maybin or Delano DeShields if you don't need those stolen bases and beat that guy in all the other stats as well. Yeah.
And that's exactly what I did last year with Hamilton, except for I was spending my 6th round pick on the bench.
Yeah.
Another
guy I like to mention is Byron Buxton. He's a 30 to 40 stolen bases potential this year, and he's 5-tool. I mean, he could really tear it up. I think in a previous video I called him like Mike Trout light.
Yeah. Do you think let's just speculate it for a minute here, because he does sound like he's got a lot of talent. He's going to be good. Where do you think let's just throw it out there. Where do you think he drafts next year?
I think if he lives up to what I'm hoping he does, I think he's going to be a 2nd, 3rd round type guy. Yeah. Drafted around like the George Springer type area, or like Francisco Lindor type area.
Right.
If he does live up to that potential, if he does
maybe
do the 20 home run, 40 stolen base season, like I'm hoping he does, because I've got him on one team already. I got a couple more drafts to go. Maybe I'll get him again.
Are you going to buy shares in him too?
I might buy shares in Byron Buxton. I've already got one.
We'll see. You're going to have to. I'm going to push the price up.
Oh, interesting.
Because I have been looking at him. I didn't like him for the points league we did, but I am looking at him for our head-to-head and maybe the Roto League.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that. Okay. Well, I think that's
that kind of summarizes what we do with stolen bases. And that might help explain why we constantly drop just Trea Turner and Billy Hamilton and Dee Gordon down. And a lot of people debate that with us. And we understand that. If you would prefer to grab that guy and then just not think about stolen bases again the rest of the draft, like, I get that, but I personally just don't do that.
I've experienced it, and it was a bad experience, and that's why I'm not really high on doing it.
Yeah, so definitely tell us what you think, how you try to win stolen bases in your leagues, and if you disagree, if you think Trea Turner is worth that 5th overall pick, let us know why.
You just opened the floodgates there.
I did.
Everyone's going to comment.
Yeah, everyone's going to comment, but we welcome it.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Thanks
for watching.
Stay tuned.